up, though? Welcome to the Onrea Initiative Podcast. I'm Brian Onrea. I appreciate you for watching this. I appreciate you for listening to this. Thank you. If you enjoy my conversation and motivation, please do me a favor and like this video, subscribe to the podcast channel, follow me or subscribe to me on your favorite podcast platform, Spotify, iHeartMusic, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to this at. Follow me, give me a positive comment if you like the motivation and conversation. Again, I appreciate you all. I want to keep motivating you all and encouraging you all to go after your dreams and goals this year. We're in the first month of 2024, and this year I want it to be a year that all of us achieve our goals. I want to be able to do a year-end review in December and hear all of the positive comments about how, we are on this podcast and we all stuck together, and the motivational words, the encouraging words helped you to overcome whatever challenges you had. You know what I'm saying? I want you to go after your dreams. And having said that, don't be afraid to keep dreaming big. Don't be afraid to be delusional. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when you have a goal or you have a dream, it seems so far-fetched that you can even seem delusional to people you love, to people who are close to you. First of all, I would say be careful about sharing your dreams and your goals with people, because people don't always have your best interests at heart, and they don't always, want to encourage you. A lot of times they jealous or have these secret, feelings about you, or they just project their own insecurities and self-doubt on you. So first of all, be careful about sharing. And when you do share your goals and dreams, don't be afraid if they tell you you're delusional, or if they seem like it's, if they seem like you're telling them something too big for comprehension. Be delusional. A lot of the people who've done great things in this world were delusional until they became a genius for figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be delusional until you figure it out. Once you figure it out, once you accomplish it, at that point, you're a genius. So don't be afraid to be delusional, man. Go after your goals. As long as you're taking care of your kids, taking care of your family, doing what you're supposed to do as a human, as a man or a woman, taking care of your responsibilities, don't be afraid about dreaming big and seeming delusional. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of dreaming big, man, the first thing I want to get to is Katt Williams. We got more Katt Williams news. Yesterday, Katt Williams appeared on Suge Knight's podcast. Yeah, you heard that right. Suge Knight has a podcast. If y'all don't know, man, Suge Knight has a podcast with Dave Mays. Dave Mays is the guy that founded The Source magazine. And basically, it's a podcast where it's fashioned around Suge Knight being on a collect call. So even during these interviews, you can hear the collect call lady, come in and say, hey, this is a collect call from a prison, blah, blah, blah. So this podcast started, I think, a month or two ago, where Suge Knight would call in from jail and just talk. Well, this time he called in from jail, but they had Katt Williams on the line, and Katt Williams was on there. And there really wasn't too much explosiveness on this call. It's basically him and Suge kind of reminiscing on how good friends they were, and Suge is comparing Katt Williams to Tupac. He compared him to Tupac. He even at one point said some stuff about, took a shot at Eminem. He was saying yeah, man, you remind me of Tupac. Everything that all of Tupac's posthumous albums were all successes, except for the one Eminem produced. That one was a flop. That one flopped. So immediately I'm like, it flopped. I don't recall that album flopping. So I went and looked it up, and Suge Knight wasn't being he was being delusional. when he said that, I looked the album up, and it was totally incorrect. That Tupac album sold 330,000 copies the first week, which is just about the same amount the previous album sold before that. And the album went platinum within 2 months. It came out in December. It was platinum by February. You know what I'm saying? That was just, incorrect. But having said that, he was trying to, big up Katt Williams, compared him to Tupac a lot. Katt basically said that he was speaking out. He spoke out on Shannon Sharp's podcast. He's doing all these podcasts to kind of bring attention so he can highlight some of his work he had coming up, like his tours. And he said he got a movie studio and a TV studio. He's going to be producing TV and film and all that stuff. He said he's doing a rap album. He got a song with Cardi B that's coming out. He played on that podcast a whole song basically where he made a reply to Ludacris. yeah, Katt Williams made a diss song to Ludacris, a reply song. He played it on the Suge Knight podcast. It's not real clear. The quality's not real good, but he played the whole thing on there, so you can listen to it. And he taking shots at Ludacris. The song don't really sound great. It sounds like the lyrics are a little bit dated. You know what I'm saying? But it'll be interesting if Katt Williams drops the song, because the whole song, he might as well drop it, because the whole song, he played the whole song on the Collect Call on his podcast. So he might as well drop a good, clean CD quality, version of the song. But yeah, he had a song where he dissed Ludacris. He kind of rapped in the rhyme pattern of, remember that Ludacris song, I'm coming for the #1 spot. Then. Katt kind of like took that rhyme scheme and was, changed the words around and was going against Ludacris. I think he had took some shots at Faison Love and some of that other stuff on there, some of them other people on there. So that was interesting, man. But yeah, Katt Williams was on Suge Knight's podcast, and so Katt Williams did Shannon Sharp's podcast. He did Willie D's podcast, and now he did Suge Knight's podcast. But again, and it's like the information gets less and less explosive every podcast. The Willie D podcast wasn't as explosive as Shannon Sharp podcast, and this Suge Knight podcast wasn't as explosive as the Willie D podcast. He barely talked. Suge Knight kind of did most of the talking on this podcast. But check it out if you're interested, man. Look up this shit. I forgot what it's called, but it's about the collect jail calls, with Suge Knight. And Katt Williams was on there. But I am looking forward to see what Katt Williams has in store. I told you got a tour that's about to start, or maybe it already started. I'm curious to go to one of those tour stops, you know what I'm saying? And I'm curious to hear this full quality diss song that he got against Ludacris now that he already put it out there, man. So shout out to Katt, shout out to Suge, you know what I'm saying? We'll see how that goes. Sports, man. Sports news, we got the wild card, not the wild card weekend, but the divisional round of the NFL playoffs coming up next week. The Lions are going to play the Buccaneers in Detroit. We beat the Buccaneers already in week 6 this year, so I'm confident we'll handle them. You got the 49ers playing the Green Bay Packers. Now the Green Bay Packers are hot, man. They are hot. So if I'm for San Francisco, I'd be a little worried. As a Lions fan, I hope that the Packers do beat the 49ers, because we need to see them again in Ford Field, and we need to get some revenge going on. You feel me? So yeah, I hope that happens. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that'll be interesting, man. Other football news, Jim Harbaugh, my beloved Michigan coach, has interviewed with the San Diego Chargers already. And I'd be curious to see if he interviews it with other teams as well. It's real funny, though, because he's doing all these interviews, but he's still simultaneously negotiating with the University of Michigan about his contract. So he's flirting with other teams, interviewing, and he's negotiating the contract. Now, it's been reported in these contract negotiations, Jim Harbaugh is like trying to get them to assure that they can't fire him if all these NCAA investigations go bad. So what he's trying to do is, if it's found that he's guilty of any NCAA infractions, he cannot be fired because of that. That's crazy to me, man, because it's almost like saying that he's guilty about something, or he think he might be found guilty about something. That's crazy, and he's trying not to get fired over it. That's crazy too, man. I think though, right now, Michigan wouldn't want to fire Jim Harbaugh, because he brought us a national championship. So, but it'd still be crazy if they agree to it, because what if some of these allegations what if he's convicted of something like super crazy, and they're like, well, we can't fire him because of the contract, you know what I'm saying? So, we'll see how that turns out. I'm hoping that Jim Harbaugh stays in Michigan, you know what I'm saying? J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback, already said he was leaving. I think one of the running backs said they were leaving for the draft. So we're losing some players, but I'm sure Harbaugh got players waiting to step right in those roles. So let's just hope that Jim Harbaugh stays with Michigan. Yesterday, I dropped a Snoop Dogg video, my top 11 Snoop Dogg songs. I hope y'all check that out, man. I'll put the link in the description if you want to hear that, man. But yeah, thanks for checking that out, and keep watching and keep sharing it. If you love Snoop Dogg, let me know what are your favorite Snoop Dogg songs. What I'm going to do later today, I'm going to do one where I give my favorite 11 Snoop Dogg features when he featured on somebody else's project, you know. So that would include his big Dr. Dre songs, or Dr. Dre album, as well as all his other features, you know what I'm saying? I got my top 11 Snoop Dogg features, man, so be on the lookout for that later today. Speaking of Snoop Dogg news, man, remember last year when Snoop Dogg put that post out and said that he was quitting smoke, he wasn't gonna smoke no more? And then it was found out to be a couple weeks later that he was talking about an ad that he was doing with the smokeless grill, you know what I'm saying? The company of Solo Stove, that's the name of the company, Solo Stove. He had an ad about the smokeless grill. Well, apparently the news came out yesterday that the smokeless grill, while it created awareness, it didn't translate into sales. The sales weren't as high as they thought. So the CEO, John Maris, had to mutually exit. Basically, he was fired because he took a chance on this Snoop Dogg ad campaign. You know what I'm saying? Now, it doesn't say how much they paid Snoop. I'm assuming they paid him a whole lot because Snoop is big business. You know what I'm saying? But they were saying that, you know, the promotion fell flat financially. You know what I'm saying? And I looked it up. These Solo Stoves, I don't even know what the market for them is. I see that they can cost as much as $300. They have some that are like less than that, but I don't know if they're smokeless though. I don't know, but the smokeless stoves are almost $300, and I don't know what you would use it for. You know, like, I think the ad was cool to create awareness, but they didn't let us know what it would be used for and who was the market for that. So I think that maybe they failed more than just, you can't just get a celebrity. You got to like make sure all your other components of a marketing campaign and promotional campaign are in place. Whatever the case, it didn't do as much as they said they would do, and they fired the CEO, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. And it seems like even the news of them firing him is creating more awareness for the brand. 'Cause I even looked it up. So hopefully Solo Stove will find their way, man. And let me know in the comments, is having a Solo Stove, is that a good thing? Is that popular? Like, what's up with that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, that's all I got for today, man. A real short podcast, but I love y'all, man. If you listening to this, man, keep taking initiative in your life. Keep taking initiative to do those things that you know in your heart you're supposed to do. I got y'all back, man. Send me comments, man. Send me messages. Let me know, you know, what you like about the podcast, or maybe what you don't like about the podcast. What could be better about the podcast? Any technical tips? You know, I do all this myself. I do the lighting. I recorded myself. I edited myself. You know, I don't know what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying, but I'm still doing it. You know, it's important to just move forward, whether you know what you're doing or not. So, but if you have any tips for me, man, give me some tips. You feel me? I'm always open for some tips, you know what I'm saying? But keep taking initiative, man. Share this podcast with somebody you love, man, and have a great day. Let's get it.